Hey, welcome to Wizards Outlook. Joining the pros, we got Cardell W. Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarper Jr. And look, we're going to talk about the Wizards. They held off the Celtics tonight on the road, 116-107. But before any of that, quick word from our folks over at Ooze and Us, and then we'll find out what Ray and Cardell have to say about tonight's win for Washington. Visit Ooze and Us for happy hour from 3 to 7 p.m. daily at the Georgia Avenue location. For you night owls, you have the option of buy one, get one late night cocktails from 10 p.m. to midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. Again, at Georgia Avenue. Get over to oozeandhouse.com to see the menu, hours, and more. For you folks that like to order in, use Uber Eats. Order from Georgia Avenue's location today. All right, Ray and Cardell, who wants to go first, man? We want your initial thoughts on an interesting, kind of an up and down game for Washington. Some of the negative in this one, they lost Gaff. I think it was in the first half. The broadcast said it was a right quad contusion, so they had to play the rest of this one with essentially just one big. But they were able to get the win. Dinwiddie came up big late. But we saw some other folks for Boston kind of keep them in it. But we've all been saying we're not going to get a good idea of who this team is for sure for quite a bit. But as of right now, it's another win. And it's a road win, not a bad way to start off this week. So, Cardell, we'll start with you, then go to Ray.
I think they kind of got back to the basics of the defensive principles that we saw in the opener against Toronto. It wasn't, once again, a full game of it, but it was enough in spurts where it held Boston off. For one, you held Tatum to 9-22 shooting, and then you held Jaylen Brown to 5-16, and really he didn't hit those fouls until pretty much the fourth quarter. You took out their two leading scorers. That's just great defense, you know what I mean? And that's why they won the game. It's no secret. We've said it throughout the preseason, man. And this is what Wes Unseld Jr. is stressing. They're going to have to hang their head on defense. I don't really worry about the offense because they got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the home court and make plays. The thing with them is if they play defense, they give themselves a chance. And this is how you win tough games. You know what I mean? Their defense was on point enough. You know what I mean? Especially on the road. Brad Beal, by his standards, is in the early season shooting slump. You know what I mean? It's pretty much been that way from the opening tip in Toronto. He hasn't shot the ball well at all, but he is giving you energy in other ways, rebounding the ball and playing defense. He had timely deflections and and steals. He had 3 steals tonight. He had 10 rebounds, even though he shot 7 of 25. Yes, his shooting need to come along, but he's making when he plays. So there's only so much you can kind of look at him like you got to get it together, man. Obviously, he got to get his shooting rhythm together, but to be fair and just be real, that's just human nature. He's trying to adjust. This is what happens when you play top-level defense. I'm not saying he's elite defender. I'm just saying when you put that energy out on the defensive end, it affects your offense. That's tired legs. You know what I'm saying? You can't hit those shots that you normally would when you kind of years past kind of like letting everybody else do those things. So it's just things that he just got to adjust to. Not just him, Kuzma, but like I said, they're finding ways to help the team win. What really won this game tonight was the bench, man. We're going to start with Trez. His energy from over the top, obviously the last game, he went on Twitter, was like unacceptable. And he bounced back in a big way. He had 25 and 11 and 2 blocks off the bench. And he had to step up and play a lot of minutes when Gaff went down. 7 minutes into the game, he played 38 minutes, and he was 10 to 13. If they get that production from him, that type of production from him throughout the game, they're going to be tough to beat. Because Bill's going to wake up sooner or later, and Kuzma's going to find his rhythm, and then it's just going to be hard to deal with him because Spencer Dinwiddie, he's just one of those rare players that he don't even need a rhythm. He's just going to find a way to get the ball in the hole because he's so poised and patient, and he goes at his speed. As a defender, you want to speed up offensive players to try to get them off rhythm, off balance, and make them rush and do things that they don't want to do, make them uncomfortable. With that guy, and then similar to Bill, they don't get sped up, man, and he don't. He just takes his time, depending on what type of defender, what type of your size you may have or whatnot. Like Schroeder, obviously he's bigger, being 6'5". He just took his time late in the game, got down to the block, up and under, scored inside. Simple stuff, man. He don't complicate that. Before that, a few possessions before that, he had a big three. But Trez was huge, man. He gave them the spark that they needed. And honestly, the interior presence that they missed last game. You know what I mean? And then the fourth, with Dinwiddie doing what he do. I know Bill had a big runner. I want to shout out Aaron Holiday. He controlled the game in the fourth quarter, man. He had some tough runners. He got some tough strips and deflections, and he just he orchestrated the offense where they got rhythm shots. It's the difference between jacking some tough threes and contested and getting guys shots they're capable of making in rhythm. And that's what Wes Unseld said after last game. He was like, I don't mind missing rhythm shots because eventually they're going to start dropping. It's the shots where we force that I have a problem with. And you still see a little bit of it, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the last game. And with them toning that down and elevating their defense and with the bench play, even when Gaff went down, I mean, that's how they won the game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, if you in the NBA, dog, if you take out the other team's top two leading scorers, especially the other caliber of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you're going to really be in a great position to win. And that's what they did if you don't beat yourself. And that's what they did. That's my thing. Um, free throws, they can get better at that. But all in all, man, they played a gritty all around game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to win. And they needed to get this win because they got a tough team coming in tomorrow, and in the same division. So you ain't want to go in there where would they been 2-2? They 3-1 now. So I like what they're saying. We just got to see. Hopefully, Gafford heals up. Him and Neto. You know what I'm saying? Neto got hurt last game, and he got hurt today. So hopefully they can bounce back quickly because they kind of thin inside.
Ray, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man. If you get a game where Bradley Beal goes 7 for 25, Neto's out, and then you lose Gaff in the first half, and you still pull out the win, that's what I like to see. That's the entire team contributing. Trez kind of led the way with his energy, his productivity, and he held himself accountable after last game, and and he came out and backed it up. So and that's what he's here for. But yeah, man, they started the game all strong defensively and ended the game strong defensively. Those middle two quarters kind of got away from them a little bit, but it's still a work in progress. But they clamped down enough to hold the Celtics off and get the win. So that's definitely encouraging, especially coming off the last game, where they kind of gave one away. Brooklyn didn't even play well, and they let them escape with the win. But they responded tonight, like Ardell said. They held Tatum and Brown in check, and if you do that to Boston, then somebody else gonna have to step up in a big way, and they weren't able to make up the difference. So yeah, man. Just these are just the things that we want to see moving forward. Just steady progression, and getting a win like this. This is why you have veteran guys with experience. If they don't have those pieces, who knows how this game turns out. More than likely, it doesn't go in the Wizards' favor. Again, he highlighted Dinwiddie. He just has a steady hand, man. He controls the game. He had 2 turnovers tonight. It's not much you can do with him, and he started the game off, not really aggressive scoring wise, but then when it came crunch time and the team needed those baskets, he found a way and got the ball in the hole. So yeah, man, I like the balance of this team a lot. I can't wait to see what they look like once they're whole finally. We still haven't seen Rui. Thomas Bryant's going to come back eventually. So yeah, man, I think they're heading in the right direction. Of course, a couple things to clean up. The free throw shooting. Sometimes they go through these laws where turn the ball over. But even with that, they weren't exacerbating the issue by taking bad shots. Those are basically turnovers as well. So yeah, man, it's if they can continue to play like this, more than likely the game's going to go in their favor. They're just not giving teams opportunities to beat them, and this was a game that could have slipped away because Celtics had a couple huge runs, but people had timely baskets. Aaron Holiday with the float in the lane. They came up with stops when they needed them, and they hit big shots when they needed them. So I'm sure it's a lot of positive to come out of this game. And then, the things where they fell short, they're gonna address those too. But yeah, man, it was a good win tonight on the road against, one of the teams that's supposed to be in the mix in the East. So hopefully they can take this momentum into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, not too much left after what you guys had to share. But yeah, the bench, biggest thing jumped out to me, 50 plus from the bench tonight, and they needed every bit of it. And obviously Trez, the headliner off the bench, that's a monstrous double double, whether you were starting or coming off the bench. Um, it was you guys already mentioned Holiday. I like the minutes Denny had tonight. Kispert was solid in his minutes. Didn't Yes, I know he didn't score a bunch or anything like that, but it was solid. And Bertans was out there, hit a couple shots. There was a stretch there because Gaff was hurt, there was a stretch there. I think it was like Bertans might have been the tallest player on the floor, and the fact that they didn't lose that stretch, like it didn't go like the world didn't end during that stretch. It was
Mm-hmm.
pivotal during tonight, because if it did, like Trez had to rest. You know what I'm saying? Like you had two like actual bigs in your rotation. Gaff goes out. Trez is already like your super sub or whatever. Like he's gonna have to rest once he fills in for Gaff. I like that they got through that stretch, and some of it helps where some of your extra players or some of your wing players are 6'9", 6'10", things like that. Where that wasn't the case last year. They didn't have that much size on the wing, and you can get away with little stretches like that. Like you guys both mentioned, there wasn't a Rui to bring. You know what I'm saying? There's not Rui to bring into the picture. Where last year Rui was the size on the wing. Last year, sometimes the size in the paint. So it was good that they got through that stretch. Aaron Holiday, you just being in control, and Spencer just like I think at the half, like Ray mentioned, he wasn't being assertive, just playing his game, just being a good point guard, and you do what your team needs you to do, and he answered the bell late because they started to get a little sporadic, and he calmed everything down, and they needed it, and it's good to have that and get away from some of the craziness we saw at the end of games last year to some sense of order and calm late in the game. It's all totally different. I'm sure for the players, it's a totally different vibe being on the court, knowing that you're in good hands. So they were able to close this one out. Ray, we'll start with you, just with your player of the game and X Factor, then go to Cardell.
Play of the game, Trez. He called himself out and he responded. And they needed every bit of it. Especially after Gaffer went down. Trez, he played the most minutes out of anybody tonight, and yeah, man, he was a big key in their win. X Factor, KCP. He had a couple timely defensive plays and hit some timely shots. And those were in the midst of Boston kind of making it push. Has had some strips. Had some good hustle plays. So that's my X Factor for tonight.
All right, Cardell.
Yeah, Trey is obviously my player of the game, 25, 11 to 10 to 13. Without him, it's not even a game. And my X factor is Aaron Holiday. I just love what he brought in every aspect, running the team, especially late in the clutch. It's one thing to do it through the first three quarters. Without his production in the fourth, they don't win the game. You know what I mean? But that's when Boston was surging. They was coming back, and he was just killing their momentum with those runners. You know what I'm saying? And playing good defense, man. Some of the ref called a couple ticky-tack fouls or whatnot, but he kept guys from going off, man. Look, 19 minutes, he had 9 points, 4-6 shooting, and 3 assists, 2 rebounds, man. What more can you say? You know what I mean? He did his job tonight. So he spelled Dinwiddie. So when Dinwiddie came in, he was fresh, and then Dinwiddie did what he did.
All right, I think I'm gonna join you guys with Trez. There's not too much to add to it. He tweeted, he backed it up, and they needed every bit of what he gave them in that first half. They needed every bit of it in the second half. Just what he does, you don't have to call plays for him. And we saw a noticeable difference when he's at his normal level of energy and just how important it is to a team, what he brings to a team. Because we saw the absence of it last game. And, you got to see the stark contrast. For the X Factor, I went to the other side for the X Factor. Boston's, you guys mentioned the job Washington did defensively on their two young stars. They're in a world of hurt if Dennis Schroeder doesn't come off the bench, just providing life to them at times. Because those two, the two guys at the head of the snake, like for the most part, you took them completely out of it. I think Jason got going in the third quarter, but that was almost a half where neither one of those guys, it was Schroeder. Then, we got some Horford, but as far as the perimeter play, it was just Schroeder hitting timely threes, pushing the pace. So, just wanted to give him some love for that. But if you guys have nothing else, we get into some of these comments. See where we want to start. Appreciate you guys that already got the commenting. This is from, I think, at the beginning, Cardell, where you're giving your initial reaction to the game. And, sir, I hope you are doing all right. Man, he thought it was a bad performance. So many bad turnovers. A win is a win. It's game 4.
That'd be killing me, dog. That's some creepy. What's the name of that movie, man? Gremlins. That's the Gremlin joint, dog. You gotta chill. Appreciate you commenting, though, man.
No, they just went on to talk about some of the things he didn't like for today. But again, I would just, it's game 4, brother. Just it's gonna be all right. It's game 4.
It's gonna take time, dude. So that's what we. Like I said, giving them a couple weeks, man. That's just fair. Y'all, look, man, it's tough to come together as a team. I don't think fans understand it, especially if you never played sports before or played ball. Look, you coming in, everybody got their own way of playing, their own idea of how they want to play and how they're going to play. To the coach, like, nah, we need you to do this. And, you got to buy in. Everybody got to buy in. Not saying they're not buying in with West, but it's still tough because you got to buy in and adjust. You got to build certain habits, and you may not have came in with those habits. You know what I mean? And like demanding defense. Certain guys, a lot of guys on the team been here that been on this roster the past few years. Now they're being demanded to play defense because now if you don't, it's gonna be hard for you to stay on the floor. So like Denny, he offensively he's being pretty efficient, but the thing is defensively he's picking up dumb fouls. So it's hard to keep him on the floor because you're putting these teams in the bonus and they can't afford that. That makes it even harder. And I know it's frustrating, you know what I mean? But he's going to have to figure it out. You're going to figure, look, you may not be as fleet of foot, but you're going to figure out angles and you're going to have to play smart. Stop reaching. You know what I'm saying? Just wall up. Do the best you can. Stay on there. You can stay on the floor. If West Hunt see you playing solid defense, you'll be fine. But the chemistry on both ends, it's going to take time. And then you're going to have to understand once Rui come back and TB come back, they're going to have to adjust again and again. And you don't look Rui and TB, then that return might be sped up now with Gafford if he's out for a minute because Montrez down there by himself it's going to be tough because especially tomorrow night, man. Good Lord, dog. Like, woof. He going to have to look. He going to eat his Wheaties, drink some Red Bull, whatever they got, dog. Because look, Collins is by himself. That's gonna be a battle. Then you got Capella. You got they got a host of bigs, man. And then those wings you got to keep off the boards, man. It's gonna be tough. So TB and Rui, they're gonna, Tommy might be making some calls like, yeah, Rui, you all right?
Can you give us 15? Can you give us 12 to 15?
Yeah, because look, no disrespect. But Bertans at center ain't gonna do it. They ain't nah, dog. It
Mm-mm.
just caught the Boston Celtics off guard. See, that's why Atlanta gonna see that joke like, man, I wish they would. Dunking on people, man. If my Bertans, I ain't even gonna be mad at them. Like, nah, dog, I ain't going down there, dog. Nope, not gonna be able to do it. So,
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Ray? Ray?
Nah, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the issue they have at center, and John Collins is coming in that building tomorrow. That's all. Oh man.
Trey Young, dog. You know,
I mean,
imagine him on the island with Trey. Come on, man. Whew. We hope not. Hey, the Wizards hope not too. Trust
Man,
me.
that would be disastrous if he's out for a long time.
Very, very much so. Yes. They just need healthy. They got other bigs, but health.
Hey, Isaiah Tom, he gonna get some.
This is
He
true.
might have to get some minutes early. Hey, young fella, do the best you can.
Welcome to the league.
Yeah,
immediately.
Do the best you can, young fella.
Here we go. This is a very measured take. I see the maturity here. had a couple comments to get to a measured take. Appreciate you. I see you, man.
Guys, the basketball guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Gonna be in trouble tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Ain't even they gotta wait till tomorrow. Look, man. Even healthy, it was gonna be problems, dog. Like, look, man. Look.
They have a trio of the things that everybody wants in the league. Just
ask Jared Allen, dog. Ask Jared Allen. That's all I'm gonna say. Allen's been on one at the beginning of the season, man. So I watch that boy. Watch it back.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement, man. That they definitely need folks back ASAP. And that was a good point, Cardell. Ray, you mentioned as well. Like that whole them getting comfortable, we're still gonna have to wait till they're fully whole to fully get comfortable, because as it happens little by little, like Cardell mentioned, it's gonna be a quick little reset. And then everybody getting used to each other as the lineups change, rotations change. Like it's a process. I know everybody wants to just add water to stuff. It is a process. And especially when they're preaching defense first, I don't even care about the issues like the getting used to each other on offense. Y'all figure that out. But defensively, with the different bodies, when you get different folks back, it's gonna be different.
And minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Certain guys start getting minutes, man. Look, I don't care if it's the league. It can cause some drama from within.
Yeah.
You know, when the team, like, they're deep, they're very deep, man. So that's what WSH, they're gonna have to figure out, and the players gonna have to dictate that, man. So once everybody's back, we're gonna really see what it is, man. And some guys that are playing now may not be playing that. You know what I'm saying? And they got to still be professional, because they can't be disgruntled, because guess what? Sooner or later, their number will be called, and they got to perform. And you can't be coming in there half-assed and not prepared mentally to play. You know what I'm saying? You're defeating the purpose. So we're going to see, man. But good win. But they better get some rest.
They got a tough one tomorrow, boy. Yeah. Ray, you got anything you want to add?
Nah, man. Just praying for the best tomorrow. And they got to travel.
Yeah, they traveling back home, and
And the Hawks 3-1 too. Damn, that division's.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte 4-1, the Heat 3-1, Wizards 3-1, Atlanta 3-1. The Magic came rebuilding, so they won it for their whole damn division again. Yeah, man.
Which makes these weeks where you play a couple folks twice in your division that much more important later on. We saw last year. Remember, if we could wind the clock back to last year, the three of us were sitting up here saying them games they was giving away within the division and stuff should beginning of the year. We were saying it. People weren't too happy. We got to the end of the year, and it was like, man, we only won way back at the beginning of the season. Maybe we'll be in the playoff playing game. And then, yeah. And now those teams got better. So congratulations.
The Eastern problem, man.
Yes.
It's tough. The East tough. Yeah. So you can't afford to give away games now.
Nah, not at all. Not even a little bit. Want to thank you guys for hanging with us. We will be seeing you guys about the same time roughly the same time tomorrow when after Washington hosts
Yeah,
Atlanta.
I'll be in the building for sure. Yeah, I'll be
So
there.
Carter will be checking in from Capital One, and it's up to the team that you guys root for to determine the type of mood we will have tomorrow. So it's not up to us; it's up to the Wizards. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tall task in front of them. Is a fun stretch. We told you guys what this week was going to look like because right after this, they got the Celtics in their building, I believe, on Saturday, and then they go to Atlanta. Fun times. So whatever you did to slow down Jason and Jalen today, you gotta try to do that again in the same. Just I'm not trying, be the bearer of bad news. Just saying.
Right.
And then you got Trey and company tomorrow. So
Trey, DeAndre, Bo Buckets, Gallinari, Reddish, Porter coming up. He always on one. He come back home where he went to college. Yeah, it's woo.
and they're a collection of athletic bigs that just sprint up and down the court and play over the rim. Sometimes a collection of them. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later.